I am the Contrarian, and this is my world. Now let's talk about one part which I thought would be thrown in as to why people are waiting for Apple. And that is all this amazing amount of data that is being thrown at us, and we really can't make sense of it. So one person has one kind of a fitness band, somebody's wearing a smartwatch, somebody's wearing X, somebody's wearing Y, and all of it is just talking to their own app. Now you had said that all this data is making no sense till there is somebody that puts it all together into one. Now the interesting thing in that is that what you said and what's it turning out to be, again, is turning out to be very different. Watch this. Ready for all the data and information that is pouring out of these devices at a consumer level. Remember, this is not data that has not been available to mankind.
Sure.
It has been kept away from mankind maybe for a reason.
Sure.
That you're not mature enough to know
Sure.
why things are going wrong with you. And you may take, the old word that you and me always use, cyberchondriacs are now, the population is exploding with them.
Right.
Self-diagnosis due to data that has come up from a trinket, literally,
Right.
could be the most dangerous thing in the future.
Very recently, there was a very important announcement, and I believe that is one of the things which will actually change the path this wearable and healthcare is taking, which is of Apple going ahead and saying that they are going to announce they have actually announced a mobile app and a mobile kit. What the mobile app does is it basically takes the data from every and any device which will connect to it, and it can store on your device, on your smartphone, on your Apple, right? And you can, on the other side, have providers who can do an analysis of that, or healthcare professionals who can have their own applications, or who can hook up to this data which is there on your smartphone, and they can then provide analysis and help you with your condition.
Correct.
Right? So this disruption you will see in the next 3 to 6 months.
This disruption you will see in the next 3 to 6 months. We are on the 5th month of that show. So is something major happening in the next 20 days?
So if you look
Plus,
at
I have one more observation.
Yeah.
You were much fitter, slimmer, and your fitness bands were doing a much better job. I mean, just where sometimes the camera lies, you never really know, but were you?
So, but I'm still fitter, right? I still ran a 20-kilometer race, and
Okay,
I
so
did a
you're
better
fitter,
time.
it's just not showing. That's
Yeah,
all
it's
you're
just
really
not
saying,
showing.
right? Yeah.
So let's say what's happened in this past, few months, right? What's happened is Google has come up and announced a health initiative. Microsoft has come and announced a health initiative. Qualcomm has gone a step ahead with doing whatever it was doing with QLive. But they have created systems wherein you can plug in the data from all different kinds of devices, and it can be channelized. The next layer, which is of writing code, which will allow it to be interpreted by a individual doctor, that is still not there yet. But I would guess that should be happening in the coming year.
That would be something. Yeah. How many months so that we can play this?
So I'll not fall in the trap again.
So do you believe that if you were, let's say, a fitness band manufacturer, would you be in a happy state right now that the Apples and Googles of the world will take over and you'll only be a fitness band manufacturer and will have no app loyalty anymore because everything will go to a kit by the big guys? Would you be scared? Would you be happy?
I think it's a mix of both, because there are obviously advantages to having some big, if Apple, for example, brings out an app that supports 25 different types of fitness bands, that's great for the fitness band manufacturers. Now, they may not have end-to-end revenue on that. I don't think that is the real issue. I think consumers are not getting to see something that really wows them, is very useful, is very cool. The data part of it is something that is not really bothering them as much as it's bothering the specific sector drivers, like healthcare or like fitness.
But I've got to see this happen. I would still understand if there were other companies, but will Apple open themselves to every company which is not a partner with them? I really don't see that happen. Which brings me to topic number 2, okay? And we'll start exactly from where we left off, the Apple Watch. Now, you're predicting this to be the next big thing. You're saying that because it's desirable, it's sexy, it may not have too much functionality. And you also believe, and I find this to be fascinating, that you're the only person in this universe that actually believes that Apple actually invented a lot of things. So are they inventing the watch too, the first watch ever? Because you said this.
It was an epiphany that if you get into something and you take up mind share, and then you say that this area was invented by Apple. So therefore they've invented the PC, the MP3 player, the
phone?
smartphone. Yes,
They invented
the
the smartphone, okay.
And now they're going to invent the watch very soon.
Okay, so I know that you were being a little sarcastic out there, so I will give you that. But there are a lot of people that actually think that way. So do you believe that Apple today is the Apple from 5 years back, that whatever they would touch would turn to gold? Haven't they had enough failures now with so many products to get everybody to say Apple is not bulletproof anymore? And could the Apple Watch be its first very serious debacle?
I think not. I think Apple still has a track record of getting into a relatively new area, which is not brand new, but sort of newish, learning from the mistakes of others, coming out with a very cool product, bringing in an Apple Watch, and having 6 months later, many people say, oh, Apple invented the wearable watch. Who else was there? And I think that track record is something that's yet to be derailed or
So let's
disclosed.
understand. Okay, so that track record is yet to be derailed. So let's understand the track record now. So the iPhone 5C, failure or success?
Failure,
Failure.
but the category is smartphones.
No, no,
Apple
I know.
invented
no,
the smartphone.
But you know, you're made because of a particular product in a category, and you also lose steam because of a failure of a product in a category. So is the iPad today
Right.
literally the best tablet that you can buy?
I'll say no.
By a long stretch of imagination also no?
Yeah, definitely, because if you look at the Surface, the next generation Surface which is available, it practically beats the iPad in each and every domain possible.
Okay,
So the problem there is that hardware-wise, people have done better things, but the ecosystem, which is what amounts to what Apple has, is unbeatable.
Now, I was about to go to an incredible statement made by PKR about chinks in the armor, but I shall save it up for the next show because, you know, the best television series always leave it hanging right at the end.
Sure.
Chinks in the armor, what you said, versus the man who defends Apple and says that, of course, they're not going away. This is not the start of not the end, but at least the start of something that Apple will lose. And then he had something to say about chinks in the armor. That, of course, is going to be next week. We'll carry on, but you'll see whatever we speak about now next week. And a lot more is going to be spoken about, including more chinks in the armor for Apple. Is there going to be a failure for Apple other than just the watch, as has been predicted out here, or will not be the big success? Will iPhone 6 and 6 Plus be seen as failures eventually? The tablet market, and most importantly, iOS, the smartphone iOS, will that actually continue to lose market share? Plus, if the hardware war is over, then where will the next war be bought and fought? Well, we'll find out next week on the show. See you then.
I am the Contrarian, and this is my world.